Good evening. It's been a nerve-wracking day for a scrap dealer in Birmingham who was supposed to be evicted from his premises this afternoon by HS2.
H.W. Taroni had been told he would need to surrender his keys at 3 o'clock this afternoon. In the end, HS2's representatives didn't turn up. Callum Watkinson joins us now from the yard. And Callum, is HS2 backing down?
Well, this would certainly seem to indicate that they might think that Russell Taroni, who runs this scrapyard, might have a point. Now, his objections are twofold, really. One, he says his new yard isn't ready for him to start operating there yet. And two, he says that he was promised 90% of his compensation before he would be required to hand over his keys. He hasn't had any money yet, and so he says those keys are staying firmly in his pocket. And when I spoke to him this afternoon, and this was before he got the news that HS2 wouldn't be coming today, it was clear that unless he's happy, this is one nut that HS2 are going to find it particularly difficult to crack.
The Taroni family has been processing scrap metal in Saltley in Birmingham since 1955. But hopes that a fourth generation will one day take charge of the business founded by their grandfather and great-grandfather are being slowly crushed by a compulsory purchase order from HS2. The burden of moving premises may prove too heavy, even for a firm with a £10 million turnover.
It's in our blood. That's what we are with scrap merchants. We process metals and recycle waste, and that's what we've done since we've been children. They promised us 90% of the value of the premises before we move out, or they want me out for 3 o'clock today. They've told me I'll be trespassing if I'm still here after 3. Well, I'm not going anywhere. They haven't given us a penny. It's 12 o'clock and we haven't seen a penny.
But he has had to spend plenty. He has found a new site and paid a deposit, but has had to sell a vintage car collection and cash in 3 pension funds to do it.
This isn't the kind of business that can simply up sticks and move. This weighbridge, for example, is going to cost £50,000 to transport to the new site. Now, that's all money that the Taronis have had to find themselves up front, and so far they're out of pocket to the tune of more than £3 million.
For Russell's 2 sons, whose fates are intertwined with the scrap business they have watched their father build, a future that once looked secure now hangs in the balance.
I didn't go to university or get down that route of extra education, so scrap metal to me is in my blood. I couldn't do anything else. With all the sleepless nights, you know, I wouldn't like to be in the position Dad's in, financially and things with it now, but HS2 could have been more help to him and us as a family and a business, and now we're down to the final hours and days and weeks.
The refusal to give up their land would put this family in breach of a compulsory purchase order. But relocation costs could sink them, and without more help from HS2, they feel they have no choice but to resist.
Now, HS2 have issued a statement this afternoon. They say they are working with Taroni to ensure that advance payment is made on time and to support their relocation from this site. They add that the onus is on the individual in compulsory purchase cases to provide all the right evidence in support of their claim. That claim, they say, in Taroni's case was made in December, which gives them until March to come forward with an advance payment. Does that mean that there'll be no attempted eviction here until March? Well, we just don't know, and neither do they.